Morning, everybody. Happy Bibs Day. Farmer Dar here. And today I'm going to do a witnessing the whiteness on something that I've been meaning to talk about for a couple of days now. A preface to what I'm about to say. I don't believe for 1 minute that what I'm going to share is, complete. But what I'll do is I'll go ahead and I'll add some resources in the description section so that if you would like some more information to do your own research or to think about some ideas other than mine, you'll have more leads from which to work and improve our world. All right. So today's witnessing the whiteness. I want to take us back to a recent political rally. There was a recent political rally where a politician was giving a speech, and in that speech there was a pause, and in that pause the politician's followers started chanting, "Send her back, send her back." Now my understanding, I don't follow every word every politician says, so obviously I might not have all the information, but my understanding is that this chant from this politician's followers was preceded by some personal attacks on Twitter. In those tweets, there were some references from a white politician to a politician of color to go back to your own country, which later morphed into go back to your own local neighborhood or county. So there was some morphing there. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and just address this the best I can. First and foremost, it was racist, and we don't need to spend too much time thinking about that. It is not appropriate for skin-privileged people to tell people of color, go back and then fill in the blank with whatever. It's just really not nice for anybody to do it to anyone. But in this country in particular, because of our history of racism, this is a particularly racist practice. And it's a practice that encourages segregation and has gotten a lot of our cities as segregated as they are. So I thought back to what I remember when I was young, and when I was a young girl and in maybe early middle elementary, there were a lot of protests in St. Louis. Now, I don't know of all of the protests, obviously, so mine is a very limited memory, but I have memories of media images, maybe first-person memories, I'm not sure, because it was a long time ago, but I have memories of angry parents greeting buses on sidewalks of schools, and those signs that they held were, they had signs and they were yelling angry things, and I believe I recall the N-word on some of the signs. I remember just vitriolic talk about the students, and of course it wasn't spoken this way, but the students needed to go back to where they came from. They needed to go back to their neighborhoods. That's Luna. And so, I have these memories of this vitriol of go back, go back, go back, you don't belong here. And, in my mind, at that young age, I totally understood when I saw the N-word that there was a real problem here, and that this was not a love fest. This was not good people acting in good faith. I did not understand how the schools had gotten the way they were, and why the schools were the way they were. And I did not understand how, hundreds of years of structural inequity had created a school system that, gave me good resources and gave students just a few miles away to the north, almost no resources or inadequate resources. And so, I had to make sense of this, and there was really not a whole lot of sense making to be had. It wasn't until I was in college that I was able to, go back and retroactively analyze my childhood experience through this idea of race and what racism had done to my community. So I bring this up because when I heard the political crowd chant, "Send her back, send her back," it really gave me chills. It really gave me chills. It was very clear and obvious to me that this was a racist chant. It was directed at a person of color, and it was white entitlement of saying, you do not belong here. Well, okay, let's break it down. If they were saying go back to your country, that is obviously saying something very xenophobic, that this is not your country and that you belong in another country and we don't want you here, we want you to go away. But many people came right out and said, no, we didn't mean go back to your country of origin. We meant go back to your locality and do the work in your locality. Well, just, as a person who understands a little bit about government, I'll add the education that a state representative, or I'm sorry, a U.S. representative who is elected by the people, and in fact, the representatives that are present were, and any representative elected by the people are entitled to be in the public political domain, in the public political sphere, doing political things in powerful places, and they're doing it on the behalf of the people. So it's also not appropriate to say go back if you mean just like go back to your locality. And then, let's not even forget how, disparaging some people are being about the localities where people of color are voted to represent. So, it just reeks of, the narrative that, how could you possibly have anything to offer us here in this place of power when in fact, you still have issues in your home place. Skin privileged people, that's just kind of like, whew, ow, true, obviously there are different difficulties in different neighborhoods. Perhaps we are more accustomed in our own neighborhoods to our own difficulties. But, community difficulty is a human condition, and so any community is going to have some challenges and struggles. The idea that we can say who does and does not belong, that is overextending and overreaching for our humanity. Okay, so, what needs to happen? Well, obviously, if you're not aware of why some of these chants are racist, we need some education on why. So I'm gonna attach some links. We need to be able to recognize, oh yes, this is definitely a racist issue, and then we need to be able to do the education to help people through this, help people identify this and work through this. So, if you have a family member who is engaging this kind of stuff, try talking with them about that, and see if there's like a personal story that you can help build empathy regarding that. How about listening? How about listening to other people's ideas? Is it possible that a politician from another locality might have some new ways of thinking that may help in a different locality? Try being kind to each other. How about we recognize each other's mutual humanity and right to exist in the public sphere? When I hear a group chant "send her back," or if I hear a group of, skin privileged people, white people saying, you don't belong here, go back, it needs to be spoken that, oh, wait a minute, this is wrong. And let's not let this topic become taboo, okay? Like, let's not let this idea that we have some politicians who are saying just horribly nasty things, and it's such egregious stuff that, oh no, we can't even talk about it. Talking about racism is not racist. So, we have to go ahead and talk about what we're seeing. And when we let it become taboo, next thing you know, people don't know how to interpret it. There's no discourse around it. There's no discussion around, okay, well, how do we handle it? All right, folks, we can be great. We can be good. We can be kind. We can really take care of each other. We can make neighbors, and we can make friends, and we can have great relationships. But it's not going to happen passively. We're going to have to really do the work for that to occur. And that work can't happen in secret, because how are we going to build relationships with other people? So, make sure to make an effort. Get some research, get some resources if you're not sure how to start. I will let you know that there are organizations that are doing some wonderful things, so I'll try to put some links in the description to help you out. Let's hear what's going on, and let's see if there's anything redeemable from other people's perspectives that might help us operate just a little bit better and be a little bit kinder and have just a little bit nicer of a community together.